Welcome back. You're still watching Breakfast Daily right here on Citi TV. And my name is Apioko. And of course, the show is, as usual, interactive. Use the WhatsApp number 0550-585-832 or prefix it with the country code +233 if you're texting us from outside of Ghana. And use the hashtag Breakfast Daily across all social media platforms to join in the conversation. Now it's time to talk about something very interesting. You know, people throw the term vegetarian and vegan around, but plant-based diets have become a huge conversation in many parts of the world. Now, I have a friend and sister here, Jennifer Plain. She's from the Netherlands. She's here for just a few weeks, but she's an amazing dietitian nutritionist, and she's very much well versed when it comes to whole food and plant-based nutrition. So we just wanted to pick her mind on that and see, you know, where we are in the global conversation and why it's something that we should even be considering. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning, Api.
How are you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Wonderful.
Fantastic, actually, here in Ghana.
Good. So, first of all, when we say whole foods, what does that mean?
That means it's completely come out of nature like that. So it's not processed at all. That's whole foods.
All right. So if we see our tomatoes, our carrots, hasn't been processed just the way it came out, that's a whole food.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Very simple.
Yeah, very simple.
Now let's talk about a plant-based diet. What does that mean?
That means a diet that doesn't contain anything from animals.
Okay.
No fish and no meat and no egg and no milk.
Ah, that sounds difficult.
That is. But in whole food plant-based nutrition, there is room for these.
Okay.
So it's not emphasized like we are usually eat, but you can have some animal products sometimes.
Okay, so it's not like being a full-scale vegan or vegetarian. You have the room to eat some of these things sometimes, but primarily,
yes,
you're eating whole foods, plant-based.
Yes.
Okay, so why is this something that has become a global conversation in nutrition?
Well, what we see is that eating a lot of animal products increases the inflammation in the body.
Okay.
And in the inflammation, that is the root cause of so many diseases like diabetes, like heart and vein diseases, like cancer. And because they see that, if you change it, you see it drops. You don't see those diseases so much. So that's why.
So that's why everybody is moving that way.
Yes.
So how do you begin to transition? I mean, if you've been eating, I mean, you've been in Ghana. I mean, she's considering moving to Ghana, guys, and I'm very excited about that. But I mean, you've seen how much we love our meat. We love our chicken, we love our pork, we love our beef. How do you begin to transition from such a heavy animal diet or animal protein diet to now a plant-based diet?
Well, to be honest, I've seen both here since I'm here. I see people eating meat, but I see a lot of people eating primarily fish and beans. So that's also a big group in Ghana. And that is actually the group I would think that is the good group. And and then sometimes they eat a piece of meat if they can afford it. Okay. And that's actually the way. It's not that it's not prohibited, but let's say once a week you can eat a piece of meat, and then the other days you emphasize on eating fish and nuts and beans and agusi.
Agusi, oh yes.
Yeah, that's a very, very good protein source. So, and what I also see is, I said beans, but something like soybeans. Okay. You can use it in so many ways. You can grind it, then you can put it in all kinds of products just to increase the protein content. But also the red beans and the white beans, they're very good, and you use it in so many dishes. So
our wache and our red, all of that. Okay, so we're already somewhere there. We just need to start being more conscious about it. Yes. So in your experience, I'm sure you've had clients who you've helped to transition to a plant-based diet. What are some of the benefits that you've seen in them, and even personally? Yeah.
Well, I see a lot, really. For instance, women with menstrual problems and all kinds of, how do you say it? The women in menopause who get the hot flashes a lot.
Yes.
If they diminish their milk and their egg intake, especially those two, it disappears.
Wow.
And then they,
Just by
those
dropping
two,
your egg and milk
milk,
levels in your diet.
yes.
Menstrual problems and hot flashes and menopause, they almost disappear.
Yes, especially if you increase your vegetable and your fruit intake.
Okay.
So that has to be at the other side.
Yeah.
Less of this, more of that. And that's what you see. That's very, you see that. Also, people with high blood pressure, you see it decrease very fast if they decrease their meat and salt intake, and also milk. And then they increase the beans and the fruits and the vegetables, especially the green leafy vegetables, like the cocoyam leaves.
Yeah.
There's very good. And all the green leafy vegetables, if they increase that, you really see a drop in blood pressure. And that is a big problem also in Ghana.
Yes.
And also eating tomatoes and the ground provision like the yam and the plantain and the cassava, that really decreases the blood pressure. So that's a good thing. But then you shouldn't add too much salt because then...
So our fufu is good.
Yes.
But then your soup shouldn't have too much salt in it.
That's it.
And then the also comes to play, I'm sure. Okay, so and what are some of the key vegetables and fruits that you would recommend people start with when they want to transition to a whole food plant-based diet?
No, there are no key vegetables and fruits. What is key is the amount.
Okay.
And that's actually, I'm very happy to see that people here can eat 3 hot meals a day, morning, noon, and night. And that's actually very good because then you get the vegetables 3 times a day.
Okay.
And what is very important in the whole food plant-based way of eating is that you eat a lot of fiber. And fiber is in a lot of vegetables, in beans, in nuts, and in whole grains, like the whole wheat and the millet. That's what you eat as well. The cocoa is very, very good as a breakfast. But if you eat vegetables and fruits every 3 meals, then that's it. Then you're fine. But that's not what I see people doing all the time, because it might be the price. Fruits and vegetables, people consider that as sometimes as expensive. But if you decrease the meat, then you save a lot of money.
More money.
Then you can spend
so it's also, I mean, we're talking, I'm sure you heard us about managing your finances with technology. So you're saying that nutrition and anything that comes with that is also a numbers game. It's also about money.
It is.
You need to manage your finances, cut down on certain things so you can afford other things. Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that, you've already mentioned fruits and vegetables. People consider them to be a little more expensive. What are some of the other things that if we cut down on in terms of cost, we can afford the things that we should be eating?
Well, for instance, I'm very happy to see that you're promoting to drink water. Yes,
and Sky Water, and they actually sponsor the show as well. So
very good
sponsor. And I must say, Creamy Plus, it's evaporated milk, which is a big thing in Ghana, but it's plant-based. It's vegetable-based protein, yes. So no cholesterol.
Oh, well,
yes.
These are very good already. I'm happy to see that. But if you drink a lot of sodas, which you have to pay for as well, that's not a good choice. So if you leave that and choose for water, that's a better choice. And you sometimes can also find the packages of water, sachets.
The sachets, yes.
They're not so expensive. That's a good drink. It's better than a sweet drink. So that one you can skip. And I was thinking, what was I?
Yeah, so the
yeah.
water, the
Yeah, water is a better choice,
Yeah.
and also beans.
Yes.
Beans and nuts are
Yes.
cheaper than meat. But what I was thinking, if you choose the red rice, I don't see it so often, but I see it at the market sometimes. That is rice with the skin still on it. So if you eat that, it fills your belly so much more than white rice. So if you eat like this a portion of white rice, you can eat half of it with red rice. But the red rice is twice as expensive.
Yeah.
So in that
So
way,
so you're cutting down
yes.
on the price, but what's going into your body, you're increasing the good. Yeah, that's
the good
interesting.
fiber because it's very fibrous. And if you eat that, and after that meal with red rice, let's say a lot of vegetables, green leafy vegetables, and beans, for instance, and you drink water after it, the water and the fiber they bind, and then they really expand in your stomach, and you feel very full. And you don't want to eat other stuff right after that meal. So you can easily keep it till, like say, lunch. And if you eat like this at lunch, you can easily keep it till dinner. So you only need 3 meals, and not really big meals. Small, but really high in fiber, and that is what really helps if you have diabetes, if you have overweight, if you have hypertension, if you have menopausal problems. All these problems, if you eat like this, really much fibers with water,
It's
then
brilliant.
you feel
Brilliant.
fantastic.
Okay, so another thing I want to find out. So Ghana, and I'm sure you've realized, we operate a lot in the informal sector. So we've got people who do a lot of heavy duty high energy work. So masons, carpenters, people who are on construction sites, people who are carrying things in the market. What kinds of things can they eat? Because there's a tendency to go and eat a lot of things, very high calorie things, so that they can have more energy and do the work. So what are some of the ways that they can, also look at a plant-based whole food diet without necessarily compromising on their energy levels?
That's a good point. Well, I see people eat a lot of carbohydrates here. In everything, that's a really heavy portion of carbohydrates. So that is actually giving them the energy already. So the way they eat is okay already, but they have to increase the fruits and the vegetables. And then the energy is already there. But they lack in fiber, they lack in vitamins, and also in proteins. That's what I see. So it's not the energy I'm concerned of. I'm really concerned of the vitamins, the fiber, and the protein.
So that's something that we need to take a look at.
Yes, much more beans and much more agusi and peanuts. Peanuts is very good. And what I see here, I'm very happy that things like the maize. And maize is
the boiled and roasted.
Roasted maize, roasted bananas. Those things are so good, such a good snack. You don't see that in other countries. It's always processed snacks. Here you don't have processed snacks. So I'm very happy to see. And also the peanuts you can buy everywhere. Very good snacks. So it's not so difficult to eat whole food plant-based way here in Ghana. Maize is very high in fiber. So all kinds of maize products, even the banku, is very high in fiber. So that's a good thing.
So we just need to be more conscious of it.
Yes.
Okay. So what are your final comments? I mean, whole food plant. I mean, it doesn't sound as difficult as I thought.
No,
as I
no,
thought
it's
it would.
not.
So it may be something that I personally will also be looking at. But what are your final comments on this?
So try to focus at 3 portions a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Try not to eat too much in between. Just drink water.
Okay.
Try to be focused on fiber, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and ground provision. And drink 2 liters, at least 2 liters a day.
So that's 4 of these.
Four
this is
of
500
these.
ml. So 4, 500, or if it's a sachet, it's 4 of those.
Yes.
Yes. Wonderful.
At least.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I've been speaking to Jennifer Plain.